In 1876, the US government had sent out troops to fight members of the Native American nations of the Lakota, Dakota, and Cheyenne, who were living outside of their reservations. Part of this military campaign was the 7th Cavalry Regiment under command of George Armstrong Custer. Custer had information that a large group of Native Americans had built a camp on the shores of the Little Bighorn River. Although he had orders to wait for reinforcements, Custer decided to attack the camp on his own. It was not his first attack on a Native American settlement. Based on his previous experiences, he expected some of the warriors to fight to hold him off, which would give the women and children time to escape. Therefore, he had decided to split his regiment so he could attack the camp from two sides. One party would secretly move to the back of the camp, while another group would attack from the south. Custer expected that some Native Americans would attack the southern group to fend them off, while the majority of them would flee to the north. Where they would be awaited by the first group that could take them hostage. Custer himself took command of the biggest group, consisting of 5 companies. Major Reno's 3 companies would launch the first attack. While Captain Benteen was supposed to scout on the left flank. The regiment was followed by a pack train. Custer still had no idea how big the Native American settlement actually was. The Native Americans were led, amongst others, by the chieftains Crazy Horse, Gall, and Sitting Bull. As it turned out, Custer had grossly underestimated the size of the settlement. What he also did not know was that the Native Americans had been able to purchase large amounts of modern firearms. Something that was playing into Custer's cards was the fact that most of the experienced warriors were on a buffalo hunt when the attacks started. So when Reno reached the camp, he was faced by men that were either too young or too old to be warriors. Nevertheless, these men managed to stop Reno's advance. And when more and more men returned to the camp, the tide turned against Reno. He came under attack from 3 sides and had to withdraw in an uncoordinated manner. After a while, he reached a hilltop that offered a better defensive position. He was joined by Benteen and the pack train. Benteen had actually received orders from Custer to join Custer's troops, but he stayed and supported Reno's men instead. Meanwhile, Custer had started his attack. It's not quite clear what happened during this phase of the battle. Most probably, Custer had decided to split his troops for a second time. 2 companies would attack the center of the camp, while the rest would attack from the north. The 2 companies came under massive fire when they reached the river and were forced to withdraw. The Native American defenders soon received support from the group that had previously attacked Reno's men. Custer's second group was also forced to retreat. His men were now heavily outnumbered. They built 2 defensive positions. Both of these positions were later overrun by Native Americans. None of the soldiers of Custer's 5 companies would survive the battle. At one point, Benteen and Reno had decided to move into Custer's direction. But when the Native American army returned and started to attack, they moved back to their previous defensive position. They had to fence off various attacks until they were relieved by General Terry's men the following day,